My name is Chris, and this is Rise 360. In this video, we will cover how to navigate in Rise, and we will also cover the two interactive elements that you will encounter this semester. So here we are on the title screen, and the way to move forward will either be to click on this arrow down here on the bottom, or you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard or the scroll wheel on your mouse. So let's move forward. Here we are on an introductory screen. This is sort of what a lot of your Rise pages will look like. To move within the screen, you can use either your scroll wheel, again, you can use your arrow keys, or like most browsers, you can use the scroll bar here on the right. So, if we want to move forward, we'll simply click on this blue continue button here. So, basically what this does is it progresses a Rise course to the next page, but another thing that it can do is to reveal more information. So we'll go ahead and click. Here we have this cute little photo of a gosling and some grass, and we'll go forward to the next section. So, what if you wanted to review something that was on the previous page or section? How do we go back? Well, there's three ways that we can do this, and if we move forward, we will take a look at the ways that we can do that. Okay, so one of the ways that we can do this are with the arrow buttons that we have at the top right and at the bottom right. As you can see in this screen, the bottom right arrow is grayed out, and that's because we haven't continued to the next page. But if we click on it here on the upper right, there we are. We have gone back to the previous page, and now we can move back forward again by clicking the one on the bottom right. If you're using a tablet, you'll find it on the center bottom and on the bottom left, and the same thing is true on a smartphone. And as you can see, if you have images in a Rise course, you can hover over it and you'll see this magnifying glass, and it will make the images a little larger and you can look at them. So, let's move forward and discuss another way that you can navigate in a Rise 360 course. So, if we look at the right of our screen, we'll see the navigation bar. Each of these dots here represents a page. The white ones are ones you can navigate to. The gray ones, much like with the arrows that we discussed previously, are ones that we cannot navigate to yet. We would have to continue to the page to do that. So let's go back to, I think this is the one that has the gosling on it. Yes, it is. And you'll see that there are page numbers out of the total number here. So we can then go back by clicking these dots to where we were before. Now, this is also a really good way to see how far you are in a Rise course. You can see that these gray ones down here are, as we said, are ones that we haven't unlocked yet, and you can see that we're maybe almost halfway through it. So it's just a good way to kind of check your progress if you're curious as to how far you are along. So let us continue. So there are two interactives that you will encounter in Rise scenarios this semester. The first of which are interactive graphics, and the second of which are flip cards. So let's take a peek at what an interactive graphic is and what it is like. It's a really fun way to visualize information and to explore how different bits of information are related to each other in space. It also helps break down information in a fun way instead of looking at just a block of text. And so how you'll interact with this will be through these markers that you will see here. This one has a plus sign in it, but sometimes they'll have like numbers in them, or you'll get like pin drops in them, sort of like on Google Maps. And you can either click on them, and we'll show you in a second how this works, or you can use your keyboard, your arrow keys on your keyboard to move through them, or you can tab through them as well. When you click on them, what you'll get is a card like this one that has information about the point of interest that you've clicked on. And as you can see, if you want to navigate between the cards, there are these arrows at the top right that will cycle through them when you click on them. Now, sometimes these cards will have more information than can be seen in sort of the size of the card that's there. And just like a browser, you can scroll up and down to reveal more. It's pretty easy. So let's try this one out. So here is an interactive graphic of Jupiter's moon Io, which is famous for its volcanism. In fact, this image is from December of 2023. And let's just kind of look around at the different points of interest on here. So here we have Chorus Patera, which is sort of like a volcanic depression on Io. As you can see in this card, there is an image which kind of gives a little diagram of how these volcanic features work. We'll just kind of click through here on different points. And one thing I'd like to point out, by the way, is that you'll see the ones that we've already looked at do not have this halo around them. So if you're not sure what is left to do, what is left to look at, you can just look out for these halos. And again, not all of the information is visible on this card, and we can use the scroll bar here, or the scroll wheel, or the arrows on our keyboard to move up and down. And as I've mentioned before, we can use the arrows on here to cycle through the different cards in this interactive graphic. Okay, so let's move on to the last interactive that we'll discuss in this video, and those are flip cards. Flip cards are another great way to break up information into little chunks and to add a little bit of interactivity into our learning. So basically, they're cards that will have an image or text on the front with text or image on the other side when you flip it. In order to flip a card, you'll go to the bottom right with this sort of like recycle or like circular arrow symbol, and that'll allow you to flip the card. If you want to cycle between them, you'll look at the bottom and you will see that there are arrows on either side to go between them. And then there's a number in the middle that tells you which card out of the total you're on. So let's take a look at an example of a flip card and see how this works. So let's discover the 3 branches of government. And here we have an image of the United States Capitol. So let's flip this. Oh look, it's the legislative branch. Sometimes you'll have links in here, by the way, so we can go and see. Here's the source. We'll go back. Now, let's go to the next one. We've clicked on these arrows here, down on the bottom to cycle between them. And now we see that we have reached the end here with this image of the Supreme Court. So we'll flip the White House here. We've got the executive branch. Here we have the Supreme Court, the judicial branch. And so it's very easy to flip them back and forth and to navigate to different cards in the stack. And there you have it. We've covered how to navigate within a page, how to navigate between pages using the arrows on the right of the screen, and also with the navigation bar. And we've also familiarized you with interactive graphics and flip cards. you should have everything you need to successfully use Rise in courses that you are assigned over the course of the semester. And if you want to play around with this particular course, you'll find a link to this in the Brightspace. And that is it for today. Hopefully I will see you again soon.